Okay, the objective of this video is to remember or to learn how to factor out an expression on the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So the first thing you have to do is to identify if the expression is on that form. And the main characteristic of this form is that a, which is the coefficient of x squared, it's a number different from 1 and different from 0. So what will be that type of expression? It will be like this: 5x squared plus 12x minus 9, for example. That is an expression on the form ax squared plus bx plus c, because the coefficient of x squared is a number different from 0 and different from 1. The rest of the coefficients, 12 and 9, can be 0 or not, but the important or the main coefficient is the coefficient of x squared. There are more than one method to factor out this type of expressions. I'm going to teach you one that for me is the best one, because it doesn't matter what is the exact coefficient of x squared, you can do it in 2 steps. So the first step is to multiply the independent term by the coefficient of x squared. So you are going to multiply 5 times negative 9, okay? And that new value, it's going to substitute the independent term. So instead of 9, you will have 9 times 5, negative 45. By doing so, you get to this expression, x squared plus 12x minus 45, okay? As you multiply times 5, at the end of the exercise, you will have to divide times the same number that you multiply. The second thing you have to do is to factor out this expression into 2 binomials with a common term. And the easy thing that happens here, or the most important thing, is that you convert an expression on the form ax squared plus bx plus c into an expression on the form x squared. So the first 2 terms in both binomials is 5x. Then you should write the signs. The first sign, it's equals to the first sign of the trinomial, and the second sign, it's equals to the product of the 2 signs. So positive times negative is negative, so this second time will be negative. And finally, you look for a number which is a factor of 45, but if you subtract them, because the signs are different, you will get 12. So let's think about a factor of 45, or 2 factors of 45, that if you subtract, you will get 12. Those factors, 9 and 5, are factors of 45, but if you subtract it, you will get 4. So another 2 factors of 45 are 15 and 3, and if you subtract 15 from 3, you will get 12. And finally, the last thing you have to do is to divide every factors, or all the factors, by 5, because that was the number that you use in order to multiply. So if you multiply times 5, 9, now you have to divide by 5 all the expression. So there are sometimes it's possible to factor out 5 from one of the 2 factors. Like in this example, you can factor out 5 as a common term on the first binomial, and you will get 5 times x plus 3. So when you multiply 5 times x, you will get 5x, and if you multiply 5 times 3, you will get 15. So we factor out the 5 as a common term on the 2 binomials, and that's it. 5x minus 3 is impossible to factor. So when we have to divide 5 over 5, we just simplify these terms, and the result of the factoring is x plus 3 times 5x minus 3. Finally, and the step number 5 is not a mandatory step. You can or can't do it. It doesn't matter. It's to verify your answer. So the way we have to verify our answer every time we're factoring is by multiplying the expressions or the factors that you have as a result. So in this case, I'm going to use the horizontal product. We're going to multiply x plus 3 times 5x minus 3. So that will be negative 3 times positive 3 minus 9, negative 3 times x, negative 3x, 5x plus times 3, positive 15x, and 5x times x, 5x squared. So the result of this will be 5x squared plus 12x minus 9, which is exactly the same expression that we have at the beginning. Okay, I hope this explanation has been understandable and useful for you guys. I will let you do some other two exercises. Now I will ask you to do this exercise and stop the video until you have the result. And once you have the result, push the button to continue the video so you can tell me if the answer that you have is correct or not, and you can check your answer. This is equation. So now try to do it on your notebook and stop the video now. As you could see, the difference between this exercise and the previous two is that when you have to divide by 6 in this exercise, the two factors has a common factor to factor out. So on the first factor, 6x plus 21, the common factor is 3. And on the second, the common factor is 2. And when you multiply 3 times 2, it's exactly the same 6 as you have on the denominator. So this is a kind of different example because you have to divide by 6, obtaining the common factors in the two factors instead of only one. Okay guys, your turn to practice. See you.